Yo, yo, yo. What is good, folks? My name is Kenny T, and I'm back to talk my boxing smack. You already know how it goes. Thanks to everybody who's here supporting me. Thanks to everybody who showed up early. We got Team Batman Boxing, Off the Ropes Boxing and MMA, and Nando Llamas. Salute to all you guys for showing up. Chicano Prophet, salute as well. Thank you for supporting the show as always. Greatly appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody. You know how it goes. Mad love and support to everybody. And thank you for supporting me. Got a lot to talk about today. Uh Definitely a lot to talk about today. Today was the first Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor press conference. Uh it was seemed very respectful. It's pretty respectful right from the start. How's it going, Eileen? Nice to see you too. But yeah, that Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano press conference, it was pretty peaceful. You know, Katie Taylor was there with all her belts looking all nice and shiny and golden and shit. You know, Amanda Serrano was there looking nice and fierce as well. They was very respectful towards each other. The face off was pretty. Let me show you a picture. I don't want to show the video. I'm not trying to get no copyright issues or nothing along those lines. I got one of my videos early on taken down, and that stunts growth. I'm not trying to have my growth stunted by not having my videos that I work very hard on. You know, by not having those videos up and having to go through the whole copyright thing. So this was just the image of the face off moment. They were both pretty smiley and serious at moments. This image that they caught Serrano was very serious in it, and she had a smiling moment as well. Nobody was in there like big dog or like angry. It was cute. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I think it's gonna be an amazing fight. This is a very crazy historical event for women's boxing. It's at Madison Square Garden, as they call it, the Mecca of boxing. I'm not sure that it actually is the Mecca of boxing. A lot of fights seem to go down at the MGM Grand. And in California, Las Vegas, Nevada, all together. So, thank you, Chicano. Smash the like, support. Thank everybody for being here. Nando says, I support the zone, but they don't seem to support the YTVC SMH. Like it stole something. That's pretty funny. So for the Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano undercard, Jesse Vargas and Liam Smith have been announced to be on the undercard of that fight. Seems pretty interesting. Sounds pretty good. But yes, this is going to be a historical event for women's boxing. It is going to be insane. Like no other women's boxing event that there's ever been before. Me, myself, and my Astro, we're definitely going to be there at that event. Since it is at Madison Square Garden, we're both from New York, makes complete sense. I know quite a few other YouTubers that are going and streamers that are going as well. That should be very, very entertaining, in my opinion. Give me a second. Drinking some beet juice, spinach, kale, mixed fruits, beets, pineapples, Gotta stay healthy out here. Gotta stay healthy and strong. And gotta promote health to all you people. Back to boxing. The Jesse Vargas and Liam Smith fight should be good, should be entertaining. They're both two entertaining fighters. I know before I badmouth Jesse Vargas. It is, and both Liam Smith. It is what it is, but it should be an entertaining fight. But Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, that's gonna be a legendary fight, yo. And I have to give all props to Jake Paul and Most Valuable Promotions. Next time that Maestro and myself rank some promotional companies over there on mano a mano boxing, uh yeah, man, we're gonna definitely have to start throwing Most Valuable Promotions in the mix. That's a joke. That's a joke. It's too early, but he's definitely doing big things already for Amanda Serrano. I think he will get some other fighters under his stable. I think it will only get better. for most valuable promotions than Jake Paul. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard, but if you haven't heard, Bob Arum is talking about Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez being on the same date and talking about choosing which fight should be watched or which fight people would like to watch. You know, and he said some crazy statements. Let me bring those statements up. Really quickly. I got this here for you. Let me share my screen. Again, I'm not going to be playing any videos, although he put that out on Twitter and it's free to use. I'm not going to put up any videos. I don't want to promote Bob Arum and his thoughts. I do got to discuss what he said, though, because it is pretty crazy. And Jake Paul came at him with a crazy response that I was very happy about. So let me just share that screen with you as well while I discuss it. All right. Here we go. This is the document. All right. So Bob Arum comes out saying, let me see how good my Bob Arum voice has gotten. As good as as good a fight as that is, I mean, come on. For whatever reason, people don't particularly pay attention to women's fights. ESPN made the schedule. They couldn't care less. I don't want to denigrate fights, and I don't want to be accused of being anti woman in sports, but I'm telling you, this shit is like the Premier League against women's football. You know, and I'll give my opinions and my thoughts regarding, you know, his comments right now. But let's go to Jake Paul's response because I found that to be extremely entertaining. And it's probably how I would have responded to Bob Arum myself. Jake Paul goes, Men like this dinosaur are the reason women haven't been given a fair shake in many parts of society. I feel sorry for Michaela Mayer. She deserves better. And he says at ESPN doesn't care about the biggest women's boxing event in history. Taylor Serrano will make history with or without you. If you're asking me, that is a great, amazing response. Is the response that Bob Arum should have gotten. You know, Bob Arum shouldn't be hating on Jake Paul, on women's boxing, on this crazy historical event that's going to take place at Madison Square Garden. Bob Arum should be bigging up the event and thinking about choosing another date to have the Stevenson Valdez fight, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. And now the conversation of Stevenson Valdez or Taylor Serrano. Being a major boxing fan and knowing that men are better boxers, originally my state of mind was, well, you know what? I would rather see Stevenson Valdez because that's gonna be an amazing fight. But the truth is that this is gonna be a historical statement, a historical fight, a historical event. And if I could be there to go live and see a historical event and partake in the event, hopefully get some interviews going, then I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna support the women on this one. I'm gonna go to the women's fight. I'm gonna pay live. I'm gonna be there. You know, but it's like everybody has their own opinion. Everybody can feel whatever they want to feel and choose whatever they want to choose. Whether you support the men's or the women's fight, I'm gonna watch both of them eventually. I'll just have to catch one on replay, catch the replay of one of them, and that's it. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Everybody will survive. Nando Llamas says Chicano, Eileen, Batman Rope, salute, word, salute to everybody who's here. Thank you for coming in and supporting. The Zone put it out today that they're going to schedule Serrano/Taylor early, want to avoid overlapping Shakur/Valdez fight. Classy. Yeah, I mean that is a good that's a great move. But if you ask me, Bob Arum should have been the one to budge, not the Zone, not Eddie Hearn. Like the more, yes, it's a huge fight, Valdez and Stevenson, that's a huge fight. But Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano is a historical fight, you know? And it should have gotten the main primetime slot in which people are used to watching boxing, which is, in for New York Eastern Standard Time, that's 9 p.m. and on. The main event usually takes place around 11, 11:30, 12 a.m. sometimes. So yeah. Bro, just walked in shop with that Bob Arum impression going down. You already know, man. I told you I was gonna work on that and get that better. Gotta work on it. How's it going? Slide Tendency says, "What's up, Kenny? How are you, homie? I'm chilling, man. I'm always good. You already know. Back and in good spirits, like always. Gotta come with the good energy. It's gonna be her story. I like that. I like that. That's nice and clever. Yo, off the ropes. Let me know if you want to join in, and we could talk boxing or whatever. I'll put the link in the chat for you. And everybody else who's here is actually pretty cool. You guys could also join me in this video if you'd like. So, yeah, I'm gonna send out the link in a few. Give me a moment. So, with Jake Paul and his response to Bob Arum, I think that was great. Bob Arum shouldn't have came out and said those statements. It shows you that he's still stuck in the old school state of mind. He's still stuck in what used to be done back in the days, and I say that specifically because the Bud Crawford lawsuit thing and the way he treats other minorities, and now this thing with women, you know, I think the court case is definitely gonna hit. The court case is definitely gonna hit, and yeah, man, it I think that Bob Arum is gonna lose that court case, especially how things are seeming. Just thinking about the case and things that the Crawford team is gonna put together in defense. But yeah, I digress because wasn't even necessarily talking about the Bud Crawford court case or anything like that. Just some thoughts that came off the side. Moving on from this historical event that Maestro and myself will be attending at Madison Square Garden. By the way, if you look at my background real quick, we are, MSG. We at MSG right now, baby, where the press conference today took place. In other news, I know everybody here has heard about Anthony Joshua and the 15 million. I think that's the euro symbol so he was supposedly offered to step aside. Anthony Joshua said he didn't receive no step aside, nothing. Then Frank Warren came out saying that Tyson Fury was furious when Anthony Joshua asked for 5 more million to step aside. Anthony Joshua comes out saying that that's a lie, that there was never no offer on the table. Yet the Tyson Fury and what's his name? And Dylian Whyte fight and the purse bids kept on getting postponed. Me putting two and two together, I was thinking about it. And I think that there actually potentially was some step aside offer to Anthony Joshua. Because why, they were postponing the Dylan White purse bid for so long. And I kept on thinking while it's happening, why are they postponing it so long? It just doesn't make sense. What's the point of postponing this fight for so long? I mean, postponing the purse bids for so long. Then it came to my attention that, or it came to my mind that, they were trying to negotiate the Usyk and Fury fight and have a undisputed fight and push the Whyte fight to a later date. And I think that that's potentially why they kept on postponing the purse bids, and that makes me think that the 15 million offer is real, and that the extra 5 million he asked for is real. Anthony Joshua hasn't chosen a trainer. Anthony Joshua, for what we know, hasn't started training, and Anthony Joshua, from what we know, needs a hell of a lot of training to try to go back to Anthony Joshua 1.0 version. not this current version of Anthony Joshua that we have that's trying to be a boxer and not the uh puncher boxer that he was before, more so aggressive and taking dudes out, you know. Um, all good off the ropes. If I'm still on by then, if I keep it going, then we join in and we talk, chop it up. If not, next time we make it happen. So back to Anthony Joshua. I do think that that 15 million that he tried to the extra 5 million to step aside. I do think that that offer and that whole situation is real. Doesn't make money. Doesn't make sense to me as to why Anthony Joshua would even be considering such high payday. I know, I mean, it's big money. I get that, but he could get the same big money by boxing. I know that I don't think he'll be ready by April. It's already February 2nd. That's 2 months. Supposedly he said that he's setting up to fight in April. I don't see how he'll be ready unless he's been training this whole time, but I don't know how he'd be training this whole time since he doesn't have a trainer. So, you know, I don't see him fighting in April. I do think this step aside money offer thing was real. But supposedly Anthony Joshua is ready to fight Usyk in April. The talks are on. We'll see what happens. I think, and I also think Anthony Joshua's wasting time with this whole trainer situation and interviewing trainers and making it public and, going on a worldwide trainer selection tour, whatever. I think he's wasting time. I think it makes him look bad. I think that gives people reasons to talk shit about him. It gives it's just bad publicity. But even if people talking about him, so he's probably happy. Nando says AJ needs to improve his skills. He needs to lean on fools and be much more aggressive. I completely agree. We need the first version of AJ back. Was there ever going to be enough money to pay off all four guys? AJ, Fury, Whyte, Usyk? Obviously not. No, definitely. I don't think so. These days fighters are demanding way too much money. Too much money that makes it difficult to put out fights for free. And I think that this is definitely going to continue increasing pay-per-views unless fighters start fighting each other for less money. And it just is what it is. I think that because 41 million, that's crazy. That fight's not going to be on pay-per-view when it should have been on regular TV. 41 million is crazy. And then you got dudes like Cambosis demanding crazy amounts of money for fights in Australia. What? Yes, they deserve the money, but the money that they request should be relative to the money that they're bringing in the fight or the money that they're worth. It's my thoughts. Dylian Whyte is now supposed to get something around 8 million with his 20% guaranteed, and if he wins the fight, which I don't think he will, there's another potential couple million for the winner. That's lovely if you ask me. That's amazing. He definitely got a win with that one. That is a W. So Anthony Joshua set to fight Usyk, Whyte set to fight Fury, and get more money than he's ever gotten in his life. Gotta applaud that. Gotta applaud that. And I do think that the 41 million that Frank Warren put up is crazy. He said that he's happy that he put that money up because it gets his guy paid more. And Bob Arum threw some money in the pot or whatever too. 41 million just means that we're gonna have to pay for these fights. That's the only thing that means. 41 million gives the fighters a lot of money and makes us pay for the fight. Nando Llamas says 41 million goes to show you that Top Rank was scared to lose another purse bid to the zone. Yeah, I mean, Top Rank, man. Frank Warren did a lot, man. That's 41 million. But yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Why would Top Rank join in with Frank Warren and what is it, Queensberry Promotions, instead of putting in his own bid or siding with the zone or PBC or just whatever. But I'm glad that this fight is finally going to take place. They could make it happen. Fury could run through White like a truck and put him in the rearview mirror, and then we could get ready for the future, which at this moment is looking like it's going to be Fury versus Usyk for undisputed, unless AJ could figure something out in these 2 short months before April when he's saying that he has his fight with Usyk set up for. Oh, I didn't know that. Nando says Teofimo got knocked off on the zone. Oh, you know what? I could see that, right? Because he was talking shit about the zone, saying that he lost because of the zone or whatever. Funny guy. That's real funny guy shit. So the reasons I think Tyson Fury is going to run over Dillian Whyte is because Tyson Fury is much bigger, is a much better boxer, uh, moves around much more, and doesn't tire out like Dillian Whyte does. Dillian Whyte be huffing and puffing. Dillian Whyte is a big body, but a big body that seems to not be able to carry its weight. Tyson Fury carries his weight pretty well. Yo, what's good, haplotype? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Um, but yeah, Dillian White, yes, he throws some punches that and in awkward fashion, awkward angles. But so does Tyson Fury. He's much bigger, has a way better boxing ability, has more gas in the tank, has better reach, has just as much, if not more, power than Dillian White. I don't see this going well for Dillian White. But whatever, at least he's getting a payday. At least he is getting a nice large payday. I'm not gonna say anything about Anthony Joshua and Usyk just at this moment because we all know if we get the same Anthony Joshua, Usyk is going to win. He's gonna waste them. He's gonna smoke them like a fucking pack of cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes, but you know what I mean. I am moving on from Dillian White and Anthony Joshua and the step aside money and the 41 million and everything. I'm stepping away from that. We already know what's happening or what is said to be happening. My next topic, which should quite a little bit of time here. The Canelo sweepstakes. The Canelo sweepstakes. It seems like every time Canelo does not have a fight on paper, a fight contract, it seems like there's Canelo sweepstakes going on. People wanting the Canelo fight and people waiting around to see if they're gonna get the Canelo fight. You know, this past weekend we had Macabu, you know, Ilunga Junior, Ilunga Makabu, and that fought. I forgot the other dude's name. Let me look that up. He was also African. Yeah, so Ilunga Junior Makabu fought Tabiso Machunu, and it was a very close fight. Makabu won, as I thought he won as well. And then immediately after he won the fight, he throws his hands up, Canelo, what's good? You know, obviously he didn't say it like that. You know, he has his own accent, his own way of speaking, but calling out Canelo again and then trying to get the Canelo fight, trying to get the big money. I didn't see anything in that fight that Macabu did that tells me that Macabu is going to go in there and have be any type of obstacle for Canelo at all. Macabu was slow in there. Macabu was getting hit a lot. He did change his style at a certain point and looked a little more dynamic, but yeah, he looked tired. He gets hit way too much in the body and the head. I see Canelo putting him out of his misery, and I honestly don't know if that fight is going to happen anymore unless Canelo just goes up there to that weight class just to grab a belt from a much bigger dude and then go back down the weight class. Team Batman Boxing says, I think it's going to be Charlo May. Agreed. Canelo watches him, but I also think he beats everyone. So yeah, I think Canelo beats most people that I think Canelo beats anybody who he's in comparative in size to. So you know, I don't see Canelo beating Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury or any of those dudes that are huge like that. It's different with Usyk because Usyk is 6'3". I think Canelo is 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". One of those. That's a huge difference in gap. But yeah, Canelo definitely I think washes up Ilunga Makabu very easily. Very easily. Um, yeah, I don't see Macabu presenting any type of challenge for him whatsoever. His body's way too open too often, and Canelo loves to rip the body early on. And the moment Macabu puts his hands down, you know they're gonna start coming to the top and washing Macabu at the top. Yeah, man. Unless, like I said, unless Canelo wants to go up to that weight class to get a belt, and they could do the whole gimmick. Oh, 6'7", whatever amount of weight class division champ. That's the only reason why I could see him fighting Makabu. I don't really see a reason in him fighting Charlo either, but Eddie Reynoso has been talking a whole lot and saying that Charlo is the guy, that Charlo is the best competition right now for Canelo. And Canelo, Eddie Reynoso also said that Canelo's going to fight twice this year. He's going to fight in May and he's going to fight in September, probably for both for the Mexican Heritage Days. Team Batman Boxing says, why not make history as like a fight if he had like three or so fights this year? He had speaking about Canelo, I'm assuming he had a lot of fights last year, but yeah, I do think that he shouldn't limit the amount of fights that he does this year. But he did fight a lot last year and has a lot of mileage, so maybe he's trying to have a little more of a break this year, not just be training the full year. Yeah, obviously he doesn't beat heavyweights, but the guys at 168 or 175 or 160 moving or Macabu, I think he beats them all convincingly. Hey, I agree with you, brother. We on the same page, 100%. 100%. Canelo beats all of them. Shit, Canelo beats a lot of guys at the what is that, cruiserweight or whatever the new weight class is that Macabu fights in. Yeah, he beats a lot of guys there. But yeah, the Canelo sweepstakes. The other guy that's supposed to be that Eddie Reynoso mentioned is Charlo. Charlo, as I said, I don't see how that's such a big fight that Canelo should be looking at. Canelo should be looking at 175. He shouldn't be looking to go lower in weight. He already conquered 160, unless he's looking to go unify at 160 now, which is possible. He didn't do that before. Excuse me, become undisputed at 160. He didn't do that before, so it's possible. I'd more so like to see him become undisputed at 175. Yo, what's good, JC? How's it going? How you doing, brother? Um, but yeah, I'd more so like to see Canelo at 175. Canelo could become undisputed at 175 in 3 fights. 3 fights. Joe Smith Jr., Artur Beterbiev, and Dmitry Bivol. That's 3 fights. If he did 3 fights next year, he could become undisputed at 175. Those are much harder fights though than the ones that he had at 168, because these guys obviously hit hard and uh have their own different experiences. Smith has a lot of experience. Beterbiev, we know, is like a tank, and Bevo, although I wasn't too impressed in his last fight, he's a good boxer, a great boxer actually. The yo was good. The GOAT Marrio P and D style boxing. I don't think 175 is too much for Canelo, man. I think Canelo will compete very, very well there. I'm not gonna say he washes them up because that's a whole nother level of competition, but I think Canelo wins against most of them and beats all of them. I appreciate the listening in, D style. Appreciate you always. Chicano Prophet, yes. And I've Smith and Better be have actually come to terms. Canelo could do it in 2 fights. It's about time some of these other fighters took care of some work. I agree. Everybody wants to be on the Canelo sweepstakes, so people don't want to fight each other. People just want to kind of chill with their belts and fight mandatories and wait for Canelo to come get the belt from them so that they could get the big Canelo payday. But it is definitely time for people to fight each other. And yes, it'd be great to see him do it in 2 fights next year. Shit, that'd be his May and his September fight. But we'll see. We'll see. These other guys don't like to fight each other. They all like waiting and hoping that they get the Canelo payday and don't want to potentially put themselves at risk of losing the belt and then not having a shot at fighting Canelo. Nano Jama says, don't sleep on the Bevo / Triple G offer. Canelo wants a Mexico fight in September. No PBC guys going down there. I didn't know. I did not know he wanted to fight in Mexico, but anybody who wants a big payday has to go wherever Canelo wants him to go. And if the PBC guys don't go, it's their loss. They're losing the big money. You know, it is what it is. Se jodieron. Se jodieron. They lose the dollars. Yeah. So it's crazy with this whole Canelo thing. And I think Canelo beats Charlo too. Canelo beats Charlo at 160. And then what? He has to go back and get the full rest of the belts. If Triple G wants another fight with Canelo, if he does go back down to 160, then Triple G better beat him to it and get a belt before. If that's what Canelo's plan is, Triple G better beat him to it and get that. Oh, I think he does have a belt. Let me go look at that. Actually, maybe he does. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I see Canelo going back down to 160 and doing that whole thing. If he was gonna do that, he should have done it when he was there already. I think 175 is the bigger challenge. I think uh the best fight for Canelo that I would love to see would be him versus Artur Beterbiev. That gives him the biggest challenge. And although people will still talk shit if Canelo wins against Beterbiev, you know, I think that that's his biggest challenge, and that'd be the best fight that I would like to most see for Canelo. All right, looking at the rankings right now, yeah, Triple G got the IBF belt. Uh, I think he was supposed to fight Murata or whatever, but we'll see. And if he goes back down to 160, there's Charlo, Ryota Murata, Gennady Golovkin, and Demetrius Andrade. That's 4 belts and 4 fights that he would have to do to become undisputed at 160. At 175, it's as I stated before, Artur Beterbiev with the WBC and IBF, Dimitri Bieber with the WBA, and Joe Smith with the WBO. So that's 3 fights, not 4, 3 fights. So 175 just sounds better all around to me, if you ask me. Just sounds better all around. I don't see why he should go 1 to 160 and fight Jamal Charlo. The GOAT Marrio P says it took Canelo 11 rounds to finally break down plan. He couldn't stop Smith, and Billy Joe Saunders is a natural middleweight. He might not be able to hurt Beterbiev or Smith. I don't agree with a few of those things. Because Canelo stopped Plant in round 11, and I don't think that means anything. The guy has a game plan which he employs in every single one of his fights. First round or two starts off slow, gets a couple of body shots in, lets the other guy exhaust a lot of energy, does a lot of shows a lot more defense than he does offense in the first couple rounds. 3, he adds a little bit of gas, hits a little more, starts getting the body a little more. Round 4 to like 6, 7, he destroys the body. Round 8, 9, round 8 and on, Canelo's looking to see how weak and how gasping and how hurt the other guy is, to see when the right point to knock him out is. Canelo's not going to put himself in danger, especially not when he's fighting bigger dudes. Canelo's going to fight the smart guy fight, and he's going to employ his game plan to knock these guys out. Dope ass backdrop says off the ropes. You already know. Thank you, man. Madison Square Garden, Katie Taylor, Serrano press conference today. Got to do it right. Canelo isn't moving down for anyone, and I agree. Better be if it's more dangerous fight. That's Team Batman boxing. Yeah, I completely agree. Off the ropes says Canelo was one belt away from unifying 160. Yeah, he messed up. He shouldn't have gone up in weight before becoming undisputed at 160. Then he never had to look back at 160. That it like unless that's the weight class which he's trying to retire at and just fight the best fighters at 160 or 168. Well, we don't know what weight class he's just trying to sit and retire at, unless he's going to continue going up and down in weight classes to try to continue becoming undisputed in several weight classes, which I do see Canelo chasing legacy and becoming legendary. I don't necessarily think Canelo's chasing dollars at this point. So the only two names we've gotten right now is Makabu or Charlo for Canelo. Who is the easier fight? They're both easy. Which puts for Canelo, that is. Which one puts Canelo at more danger? I mean, I would have thought that Macabu would have been that guy because he's much bigger and has should have a lot more power as a bigger dude. But I'm not sure that I saw a lot of power this past weekend when he fought on the Don King card. He, the reach is definitely there, but I don't know if I saw that much power this weekend. So I'm gonna have to say, that I think maybe Charlo is the bigger challenge in this fight. Although both Charlo and Makabu are non-proven, non-tested, so to speak. So you take your pick of which one you think is more difficult. I took mine. I think Charlo will probably be more of a challenge for Canelo than Makabu would. Haplotype says, I give Canelo a strong chance of cleaning out 175, but he should go in order of weight. If he's going to fight Charlo at 168, do that first and then 175 before cruiser. Moving up and dropping back down is bad. Oh, yeah, I agree. It's definitely bad. And I don't know why he does it like that. I don't even know how much longer Canelo plans on fighting. I have thoughts about that too. Like, Canelo has a lot of mileage. Canelo has a lot of money. Yeah, he's the GOAT in boxing, but how much longer is he really trying to box? When is he looking to retire? How many fights is he trying to get under himself? Uh Thinking about those things, I'm assuming that he maybe has 10 fights, unless he's gonna keep on going for the long run. If he does have 10 fights, then he should maybe clean out 2 more divisions and then choose a division to stay at and just fight at that division. I would assume that you are right, that it makes sense for him to go down and clean out 160 before cleaning out 175 and then staying at 175. But 175, has much heavier hitters and seems like a much more dangerous division for Canelo to campaign at for the remainder of his career. So he decides to retire. So I think about those things as I play coach and play manager, and try to think about what decisions these fighters gonna make. Team Batman Boxing says Macabu hurt his stock this weekend. Beforehand, I would have said Macabu. Yo, I wholeheartedly and completely agree. Macabu did not look good this past weekend on that Don King pay-per-view. By the way, that pay-per-view was horrible. I may talk about that a little bit at the end of the stream. But yeah, I think Makabu hurt his stock and hurt his chances by not looking good when he fought this guy this past Saturday. He should have probably just not fought till May. Well, but then he doesn't have a contract either. It ain't like Canelo said, "Yeah, I'm fighting you." So so it is what it is. He definitely hurt stock. A unification of 164 Canelo is more intriguing to the casual boxing fans than the unifying 175, since Triple G, Charlo, and maybe not Andre, but they are more known than the guys at 175. That's a good point. That's a good point. They are definitely more known than the guys at 175, and it probably would cause more noise for like for the fans, for the promotion of the fight, and he probably would make more money or not more money. He probably make just as much money in those fights. It's big dog, big dollar, big Canelo. You know, I don't think he should ever go back to 160. If Charlo wants to fight, he should move up. Yeah, I agree. Canelo's the big dog. If Charlo wants to fight, it should be at 168. But we'll see, because I'm thinking, if Canelo is chasing legacy, as we said, he will try to become undisputed at 160, 175, or just 175. Because at the end of the day, who do we have that has um been undisputed in two weight divisions and is still an active boxer? But yeah. What fight is more impactful for Canelo's career, Macabu or Charlo? I'm gonna go with Charlo, just because people know that name much more. Although the Macabu fight would get him a belt at another weight class, and they could use that little gimmick, like I said, the what would it 6'7" weight class division champ. Yeah, so could do that too. So it's neither here nor there, here nor there. I think Charlo is a bigger name that would get him even more popularity than he already has. And I think that's it for Canelo and Macabu and Charlo. Maybe he fights both this year. Maybe he doesn't. I hope he has a lot of exciting stuff this year, since he says he's fighting twice. I hope maybe he fights 3 times, but we shall see. Team Batman Boxing says 160 is old ground. They would have to move up. Chicano Prophet. I don't know why they're still posting odds, but the line for Canelo versus Macabu got wider. Canelo now minus 800 favorite. It makes sense. Yo, Macabu hurt himself this past weekend. He hurt himself. It is what it is. Yo, if you're watching, please hit the like button. If you aren't already, subscribe to the channel. Show me love. Share the video. Appreciate everybody watching. But yeah, it makes sense, Chicano Prophet. He hurt his stock this past weekend. His stock is on the decline. Yeah, Batman Boxing agrees with me that right now Charlo's definitely the more profitable, more beneficial fighter for Canelo than Macabu. And I agree, he should fight them both. But moving on to the following topic. The topic to close us out. No, I'm gonna talk. You know what? Let me add this in here. I'm gonna talk a little bit right now before I go into the closing segment, closing topic. This past weekend, Don King did a pay-per-view. Boy, was that pay-per-view terrible. I was told it was $50. I didn't pay that. But I did see it. And let me tell you, it was a very grainy stream and I got a really good one, trust me. And it was a very old school type of feel and schedule and platform type of thing that Don King has set up. It was extremely lackluster. A couple of heavyweight fights with slow, gasping heavyweights that make the heavyweight division look lackluster. Trevor Bryan fought Guidry. And bro, Trevor Bryan, the WBA regular, I believe, he does not look good. He did not look good. He's too big. He's too slow. He gets hit a lot. I don't see Trevor Bryan doing well against any of the top caliber fighters in that division. The Anthony Joshua that we know right now, the 3.0 version of Anthony Joshua, as Maestro calls him, that version of Anthony Joshua that just got whooped by Usyk would destroy Trevor Bryan, and that's my opinion. Trevor Bryan, whoa, shit, that was bad. I mean, he almost knocked him out in the 12th round in the last final seconds, but the guy was giving him hell in that ring. Team Batman Boxing says, felt like I was in a time warp. Stayed up till 5 a.m. Luckily, the top rank card was in as well. I had both on. Yeah, I had both the top rank card and the Don King card on at the same time. Trevor is food for anyone decent. Yeah, Trevor's food. Bro, you could put Trevor in there against Big Baby Miller. Battle of the big fat guys. Big Baby Miller destroys Trevor Bryan. um and that's the same card. The Don King pay-per-view is the same fight card that Macabu fought, and Macabu looked bad. The entire card was, lackluster. And then they ended the entire fight card with two random guys that weren't even fighting for a belt. The entire schedule didn't make sense. Oh, then they also interrupted the entire boxing night and had like a 30-minute conference with senators and announcements and giving, I don't know what, a praise, and Don King with his flags on stage, with his 40 different flags on stage or whatever. Then but right before that, it seems like they were setting up for that event. But right before that, they had like a 15-20 minute showing of a Tito Trinidad fight. At that point, I was extremely confused because I felt like I was watching like a old fight that was recorded and put on YouTube. So like all the time I watch these old school HBO fights and then these really old fights, the entire card. I hear the announcing, I hear everything. I watched the entire card. It felt like I was doing that. I was confused, but then they went back to the live, and it was Don King on the stage with all the bullshit. But that wasted like 40 minutes in between boxing matches. That made no sense. That was a waste of time. But yes, as Batman Boxing said, luckily the top rank card was still going on at the same exact time, and luckily that one was a little more entertaining, although they had the extremely biased commentary that Maestro and I spoke about on Mano a Mano Live on Maestro Boxing channel, which goes on every Monday night at 8 p.m. Shout out to HCP, shout out to D Style and everybody else showing love. So yeah, that card between with the Don King fight card, that made no sense. I don't see why it was a pay-per-view, and I don't think that he should have any more pay-per-views moving forward. It should be all on free TV. ESPN's fight card though, that was entertaining. Conseil Sao, man. I think that guy is very, very, very impressive. He did his thing this past weekend, although the ESPN cast was hating on him heavy. All right, now we do go to my final segment for today. That's funny as hell, yo. The GOAT Mario P says Canelo should fight Trevor Bryan, snatch that belt, and make history. Yo, that is hilarious. Hold on, I'm a little thirsty. Let me get some more of my beet juice. All right. So for the final segment, Marrio Barrios versus Keith Thurman. One time Keith Thurman. Let's go to the tail of the tape, baby. Tail of the motherfucking tape. Share screen with you real quick. All right. I have these here. That's courtesy of fightnight.com. This is the tail of the tape. This is the tail of the tape for Keith Thurman versus Marrio Barrios. If you're looking at the screen, how's it going, Robert Guerra? Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you coming through and showing love. Thurman should get the stoppage, says Batman Boxing. I completely agree. But yeah, let's go through this tail of the tape. Let's see what we got here. Keith Thurman with 29 wins. Marrio Barrios with 26. Both sharing a loss. Both have a loss. Keith Thurman against Pacquiao. Marrio Barrios against your boy, Gervonta Tank Davis. Keith Thurman has more knockouts at 22. Barrios has 17. Both fighters have 0 draws. Keith Thurman has a total of 30 bouts. and Mario Barrios has 27, which means Keith Thurman is more experienced. Keith Thurman has had the bigger layoff, though. The KO percentage 73% for Keith Thurman, 63% for Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios. Keith Thurman is 5'9". Mario Barrios is 6 feet. That's a huge fucking difference, yo. 5'9" to 6 feet. I did not know that Barrios was so tall. Or maybe I did know, but I just didn't remember. And then the other crazy interesting fact here is that Thurman has a 69-inch reach and Barrios has a 74-inch reach. So the guy is taller and has more reach. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you know what? I still think that Thurman needs to win this fight by stoppage, although he has had the 2 year or so layoff. Keith Thurman is the more experienced, proven boxer. Keith Thurman was an actual champion at one point, a two-belt champion at one point at the 147-pound division before he got all these injuries and layoffs. He said that his last injury layoff moment this last 2 years after the Pacquiao fight was not because he lost to Pacquiao, but was because he had gotten surgery on his hand, surgery that took 10 months to heal. And then he started coming back to training, that his heart is still in boxing and that he does not feel any type of way. He got some offers during the pandemic, but he didn't feel like taking the offers because he had just previously fought Pacquiao, which was the greatest, most exciting fight of his career. So he decided to not fight during the pandemic. And here we are now. We're outside the pandemic. His hand is healed. He says, Keith one-time Thurman is all the way back and ready to go to action and win this fight. I do feel that although all this has happened. Oh, and the other stats from the other guy, Mario Barrios, lost his last fight against Gervonta Davis by knockout in the later rounds. I don't remember what round it was that he was stopped in. Barrios has been an active fighter. Barrios hasn't taken time off, but he is moving up in weight. Mario Barrios is moving up in weight, and he does have the more height and more reach. Will that play an advantage to him? I don't know, because he doesn't fight to take advantage of his height and reach. Mario Barrios likes to fight inside a lot. Mario Barrios likes to spend his time in the pocket, trading punches and throwing lots of punches and bunches in the earlier rounds. Keith Thurman likes to jab and counter and likes to be the guy to stay away. But Keith Thurman is going to be the smaller guy in this fight. So Keith Thurman is going to have to get on the inside. But that's not going to be a problem because Mario Barrios likes to fight on the inside. He's not going to use his height advantage. He's not going to be out there jabbing and 1-2 and 1-2 and staying long. He's going to be in the pocket trading punches, which is going to put him at risk for one of those Keith one-time punches. And if you was watching Monday Mano a Mano live, this is what the Keith one-time punches look like. Let me stop sharing the screen. You know, he turns his head to the side real quick. He goes, ha, and then he throws a punch over the top. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how the fight is going to end, with one of those Keith one-time punches knocking out your boy Barrios in the later rounds. All right. Nice to see you. We got my guy joining me. I sent the link out earlier to George from Off the Ropes, and here he is to join us. Let's join this conversation. Let's get his thoughts. Yo, welcome, George. How's it going, brother?
What's up, Kenny? How you doing, man?
Can't complain, bro. Always good, always happy, good energy. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm glad to hear the good energy, positive vibes as always. I'm driving around right now. I just wanted to, call in real quick to say what's up and, give my thoughts on a couple things. And yeah, man. So I'm here. I guess as far as the Keith Thurman, I don't know if you heard that supposedly they're going to be boxing in 10-ounce gloves.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Those are pretty big. Isn't it usually 8?
It's usually 8, yeah. I guess it was speculated maybe Keith Thurman's hand injury isn't completely healed, or I don't know, maybe some kind of handicap. But
Probably.
that's what I heard, man. That's what I heard. It was 10 ounce gloves. So
I could
I,
see that. I mean, that I guess that does lower the possibility of a knockout, although I still think there's gonna be a knockout.
yeah, I totally agree. And you know what? Both guys have been hurt to the body before, so this is gonna be a pretty interesting one, I think.
Definitely. Barrios likes to go to the body too. Thurman was mentioning that everybody thinks that he's weak to the body, so that he expects Barrios to be coming to the body, as he usually and regularly does.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, it's definitely going to be a pretty good match. Both guys are going to be hurting each other, and I do see them trading. I do see them trading for a while. Do you think we're gonna get? Do you think we're gonna get the Thurman that we had when it was Thurman versus Sean Porter, that they were going to war and trading, and it, none of them seemed to empty out on the gas tank? Or do you think that we're gonna get the Thurman that we had against Pac-Man that was gassing out towards the later rounds?
Oh man, I mean, he's been out what, 2 years now?
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks like he lost service real quick. He'll be back shortly, and he'll answer the question once he gets right back in here. But my thoughts on that question, I'm hoping we get more of the younger Thurman. He says he's been training for a really, really long time. He says he's been active, that he hasn't been in the ring boxing, official fights, but that he has been active in training and sparring, etc. We'll see how his conditioning comes in. I think we're gonna get a smarter Thurman. I don't think Thurman's gonna go in there trying to throw punches and bunches in the early rounds. I think Thurman's gonna be more of a slow starter in the earlier rounds. I think Thurman is gonna try to do some more counter punching and counter punching to the body. I think Thurman's gonna not throw as many punches as Barrios is going to be throwing, because I think Thurman's going to fight smart. He's trying to reserve some of the tank. He's trying to make sure that in the later rounds he has enough to go, enough to defend himself, and if he wants to and can, enough to go forward and get the knockout, which I think is what is going to happen. I think Barrios is going to get knocked out in the later rounds, as we saw when Barrios fought Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis kind of got, although I think Gervonta Davis was losing most of the fight, Gervonta Davis kind of got him tired in the later rounds, or more like he got himself tired by throwing lots of punches and staying in the pocket too long and trading. And he seems to have gotten gassed out when he got put down and the ref called the fight off. So I do think Barrios is going to get tired towards the later rounds. I think Barrios is going to start on fire. I think people are going to be, oh my God, Barrios. Where was this Barrios versus Davis? Oh my God. But because I do think he's going to look better in the earlier rounds. He's not going to be as weight depleted as he regularly is. The guy is 6 feet. Think about that. The guy is 6 feet. To be fighting at 140 pounds, that is weight drain. Even 147 for a 6-foot guy is weight drain. I'm 6'3". I weigh 220. You know, so yeah, it's crazy. Not says Barrios can't punch at 140, so I don't know how much power he'll have at 147. I mean, he does have a few knockouts at 140, but yeah, he doesn't seem to have that big one punch KO power. I do think adding on more weight means adding on more muscle, which should translate into him having some more power at 147. Will that be enough power to take care of Thurman? I don't know. My Extra A Boxing salute, brother, says he's off work. Salute to the whole chat. Salute to everybody. Thank you all for watching. If you're here, hit the like button, please, and subscribe to the channel. Show me love, show me support, and let's keep it going. So yeah, man, I think this coming weekend, One Time is gonna win again. It's gonna be another one-time win, and it should be, because the guy is more experienced. The guy has been at 147 longer. The guy's power is proven. The guy's boxing knowledge and wisdom is definitely proven. He's more experienced. 147 is the weight class he's been fighting in. He's not moving up to weight class. He's staying right at the weight class he's been forever. And he's a proven champ that has had more obstacles at that weight class than Barrios has. Barrios is going to be going in there, moving up in weight, trying to see if the weight that he put on translates into muscle, trying to see if he could win by rounds. I don't see Barrios winning by knockout. Who knows, yo? You never know, but I don't see Barrios winning by knockout. If Barrios does win, it'll be a 12-round decision. Thurman could win either 12-round decision or KO. It depends how much punches Barrios is going to be throwing and how he goes out there fighting. If he stays long or decides to stay in the pocket the entire fight. Not says I can see Thurman getting him out of there in 6 to 8 rounds. Yeah, I think 6 is a little early. I think 6 is a little early, to be honest. I think if you, I think that Keith Thurman should employ a Canelo type of game plan, which means not taking any rounds off, but taking it lighter and attacking the body in the first 1 to 3 rounds or so. Then put the foot on the gas towards the body and head round 4, 5, 6, and maybe even 7. Because Thurman's coming back, he's gonna have the ring rust, being that he's been out the ring for so long, right? And then in the later rounds, 8, 9, 10, that's when he should put on his foot on the gas and 100% be looking for the knockout. I don't think that Keith Thurman should go in there doubting Mario Barrios as if Barrios isn't a boxer. He is a professional boxer at the end of the day, and there's always a puncher's chance, and the guy has experience, you know. The GOAT Marrio P says Thurman's been on the couch for the last 2 years. He might be struggling making weight now. Who knows? He might come in drained. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I don't know if he'll come in drained. He looks like he walks around somewhere around that weight class. And even if he does weigh in drained, he'll be able to rehydrate for fight day, depending how drained he is, and depending what he takes to rehydrate. Excuse me. Nas says Barrios is jumping up in level of competition back to back. I can't see this fight going well for him. Too bad. Seems like a good kid. Yeah, he does seem like a good kid. He has a lot of heart, seems to have good energy, and seems to be willing to fight anybody. I do think that he has a lot of heart, because going from, fighting Davis, that didn't really take a lot of heart. That should have been the fight that he won since he was fighting a smaller guy. But going up to 147 and fighting Thurman right away, that takes a lot of heart because, it's not like he had a chance to establish himself at the 147-pound division. KOTR, I'm not sure how to say that, says a mediocre fighter in great shape can beat a great fighter who's out of shape. That makes sense. But skill, wisdom, and experience also play a part in this, You have to take the experience of both fighters. I got Keith Thurman winning this in the later rounds by knockout. If not, depends how the fight goes. The decision will depend on how the fight goes. I forgot who I heard. It was a boxing caster saying that he sees Barrios winning this by split decision in a very close fight. Which, it's a very likely turnout. It's a very possible turnout. And anyhow, I 100% look forward to this fight. You guys already know I got Keith one-time Thurman winning this fight. And Mario Barrios, he came out, he said a statement. He said, I'm not afraid to trade with Thurman, which tells me that he is going to go in there and be in the pocket trading punches and looking crazy. I mean, not looking crazy, looking too aggressive at times and risking getting hit too much, which he should not be risking because he's fighting the already established 147 that we all know has power because we've seen him knock people out. And he's been fighting at the 147. And as stated before, Barrios fights at 140. He fights at the 140-pound weight division. And he didn't have a crazy amount of power there. And he's moving up to 147. So nothing guarantees that he's going to have a lot or more or a crazy amount of power at the 147-pound division. But all right, folks. It is now time for me to go. Thank you all for tuning in and showing up to my show. If this is your first time being here, please subscribe to the channel, like the content, share it, show me love, help me grow. Let's be a team. On another note, I'm wearing this hat. It says Cloud City. This is a hat for a business that I'm working on. Cloud City is going to be, once the laws get passed, recreational marijuana dispensary, New York State. We already have an established business and we're looking to grow. We do sell paraphernalia like hats, shirts, and such. So if you're looking to support a New York dispensary, go follow on Instagram. It's Cloud City NYC. Go show love and you know buy some apparel or donate some money so we can have the funds that it takes for minorities to open up a dispensary in New York. Besides that, man, I am all talked out. I've gone through all my topics. I thank, appreciate, and love every single one of you for showing me love and tuning in. You guys all take care. Shout out to HCP, D-Style, Maestro, I, Off the Road Boxing, Chicano Prophet, KOTR, Robert Guerra, Knots, The GOAT, Marrio, P, Team Batman, Boxing, Nando, Jamas, Haplotype, and everybody else that showed up, man. Y'all all take care. Have a great night, and see you all next time. Peace.